Welcome to this episode of the AniMoguls. I'm the massively entertaining Megabucks.
And I'm the terrific Tycoon.
Today on the AniMoguls, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be discussing hair. When you look at the sheer number of Disney characters, not to mention all the characters from Pixar, Don Bluth, Blue Sky, Laika, and all the hundreds of animation companies out there, you're like, whoa! There's just way too many. So we're just going to break it down by hair color. So today we're just going to be focusing on the blondes. So Tycoon, you want to start us off with your favorite Disney blonde?
Well, my favorite Disney blonde has to be Rapunzel. She just has the best hair ever. I mean, who else is able to grow hair that long and still have so much volume on their head? And her hair has magic healing powers. Even if she jumped off the tower and broke her neck, she could have strangled herself with her hair and she would have been alive again. That's the best kind of hair to have. You can use it as a lasso, you can swing from tree to tree, sky's the limit. Though I will say that making a French braid with hair that long would be a nightmare.
You can use it to tie up your future boyfriend and hold him hostage until he takes you to see the lanterns. I mean, there's just so much you can do. I wonder if Rapunzel knew that she could kill people with her hair. Like, what if she tied it around Mother Gothel's neck? She could have just strangled her the old-fashioned way. I mean, there's no need for healing powers there.
Yeah, we're really fortunate that Rapunzel was such a kind soul, because there's a lot of damage she could have done with it. You know, with great power comes great responsibility. That's what Peter Parker said. And clearly Rapunzel took the Peter Parker route and she didn't go corrupt.
Absolutely. And, luckily she had Pascal around to do her dirty work. But, moving on to another Disney blonde, we have Aurora of Sleeping Beauty. She has really beautiful hair, no doubt about that. I mean, she's got the curls, she's got a headband, what's not to love? It's low maintenance, she dances, she whips those curls around, throws them in Prince Philip's face. But the thing is, she doesn't get to do much with them because most of her curls just lie there on the pillow for like 100 years. She's lucky they haven't turned white by then.
Yeah, and I'll bet that by the time Sleeping Beauty does get up from her slumber, she's probably gonna have to deal with major bedhead.
Oh yeah, totally. And now I'm beginning to wonder if she's just been wearing a wig this whole time. I mean, what if she secretly suffers from male pattern baldness?
Yeah, I mean, I gotta agree, that's definitely a concern. And on another note, as somebody who really likes short hair, I thought that Sergeant Calhoun from Wreck-It Ralph, if she didn't look so butch in the face, well, the hair actually looked really good on her. It's also really practical. She's a gung-ho fighter, so she can't have long locks flying in her face. She needs a more practical do.
Absolutely. I mean, she's a military woman, so she doesn't have time to go to get a perm or whatever. She's got work to do. She's got to get out of bed, and she can't spend hours brushing her hair. Like, she doesn't have all the time in the world like Rapunzel does. Like, Rapunzel, I mean, she's got this whole schedule worked out, 7 to 9, she's brushing her hair. But for Calhoun, the bugs are attacking her hometown. There's a war to be fought. There's no time. Speaking of other warriors, Tycoon, I'm really confused as to why so many people consider Kida of Atlantis to be a blonde. I mean, in that case, every senior citizen over the age of 85 should also be considered a blonde. I mean, her hair is white.
Yeah, she could be a platinum blonde, but she just looks white-haired to me. I mean, I think Kida is one of those people who aged prematurely. This is like a shout-out to all the people who've had white hair growing up in their 20s and into their 30s. They didn't want to look like they were 80. But people like Kida, they prove that you can be old as hell, in terms of hair at least, and still look amazing.
I think Kida's got great skin. She must have really good exfoliation and like a moisturizing routine going on, because she doesn't have any leathery wrinkles on her 900-year-old face. So it helps keep the look fresh.
So, Megabucks, what do you think of Cinderella's blonde?
I think Cinderella actually has one of the prettiest shades of blonde. It's almost like a nice strawberry blonde color, and she has a great length too. Especially in the olden days, where people would usually go it as long as they could. Less is more for Cinderella,
Yeah, I think Cinderella might have wanted to grow it longer. But because she's on her knees cleaning the floor, it's just not a practical do. Much like Calhoun, she's got to keep it short too. She's got chores to do around the house. She doesn't have time to sit there running a brush through her hair 100 times a day. Unless, of course, there's a ball coming up.
Yeah, and even then, Cinderella leaves the styling to her fairy godmother. I think partially the reason is also that her stepsisters aren't sharing the shampoo. They're hogging the shower every chance they get. There's just probably no time. She's forced to bathe when there's mice running around her room. It's not a situation where, you can devote time and effort to hair care.
So, I really, really liked Elsa's hair. Elsa from Frozen? That's more what I would call white blonde as opposed to Kida's hair from Atlantis. Especially when Elsa transforms her hot look, I don't care about anyone, screw the world, fear me, I'm Elsa. The French braid swept off to the side, it really worked wonders for her.
Yeah, definitely. And loving the jagged edges, the sharpness, knives. You kind of get this knife like look, an almost anime punk look going for Elsa over there.
I mean, after that transformation, I was surprised that Prince Hans and Kristoff didn't switch their loyalties and jump aboard the Elsa ship, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, everyone knows that Elsa was the hotter sister.
I guess looks aren't everything.
I think Hans and Kristoff might have been driving on the other side of the road. I mean, Hans for sure. He was locked in a dungeon with Elsa and he felt nothing? What's wrong with you? Let's branch out a bit from the Disney tree. I know that people have a lot of problems with the Swan Princess as a story, but I actually really love the movie. Not saying Odette has the greatest personality in the world, but I love her hair. Love those soft waves. What do you think, Tycoon?
I think what the artists were going for with the soft waves and the Swan Princess's hair was to create an illusion of sorts. Not an illusion, an illusion. A reference to the swan's neck. It curves, and so does her hair. It might be reaching, but that's my analysis.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it at all. I think that Odette, she lived in a time before hair straighteners were invented. She never wants to use, magic to straighten her hair because she'd had a bad experience with it, being turned into a swan was completely traumatic for her. So, she sticks to what she's got, which is this nice, soft, fairy tale romantic hairstyle.
Yeah, I'm gonna disagree, because she used to be a real ugly duckling, so I bet she used a lot of styling products, makeup, acne clearing products to kind of get to where she's at now. She's worked hard. Either that or puberty did her some good.
Yeah, I mean, I think the bare bones were already there. You've seen Odette's father. He's a good looking guy. Clearly, she inherited her father's good looks. I mean, I never got a good look at Odette's mom. I mean, I don't know if they died, looking at her because she was so ugly or what. But, if your theory holds true, Tycoon, then, she was hideous. But I like to think that Odette's a natural beauty. I don't want any Botox or anything like that, But Derek's looking the other way. Even if it's there, he's not going to complain. He's only in it for the looks, as he's made clear in all three Swan Princess movies.
And that concludes our discussion of female animated blondes. Catch us for our next segment as we chat about the pressing hair issues that concern male blonde characters in animated movies.